Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. How are you at the moment? I hope you are all doing really well as can be. I thought I'd come back today with a video that's a little bit kind of off the cuff, a bit raw. I just thought I would sit down, put the camera on and have a bit of a chat. I don't do these videos that much, although I have done a couple recently. But I quite like them. I quite like watching other people's videos because it's just, I don't know, it's just a way to feel like you're kind of catching up with somebody. And yeah, I just think it's quite nice to be able to just sit and talk to the camera sometimes rather than planning like a big, you know, video about a specific topic. So yeah, I've got a few things that I wanted to discuss with you today. So I'll split the video into like sections for each of the things. Yeah, I hope you enjoy having a little bit of a catch up, hearing what's been going on, and do let me know how you're doing as well in the comments. So the first thing that I wanted to address in this video is the Black Lives Matter movement. You can't have been living in this world and not have seen the things that have been going on recently, and although I haven't got a big following, I still thought it was important to make people aware who are following me exactly where I stand. I fully support the Black Lives Matter movement. I have supported the protests. I've had friends that have gone to the protests, and I support those protests and, you know, the message that is being getting across. I was sickened, disgusted when I saw what happened to George Floyd, and the fact that that is still happening to so many black people is, I just can't get my head around it, and I'm white, so I just can't imagine what it must be like for black people to be seeing that kind of thing daily and to have to, yeah, live their life knowing that that's what's happening. I am very aware that I don't want to make this video about me because, or this part of the video about me, because it isn't about me. But I do think it's important that I, you know, speak up and tell people that that is what I think, so that, you know, you know exactly where I stand. Like I said, I just can't believe that we are now in 2020 and we're still having to fight for people not to be prejudged based on the colour of their skin, and for people to be, you know, treated unequally or, you know, be at a disadvantage because of their skin colour. I just cannot believe we are still here, but we are. And I think it's really, really important that everybody, you know, no matter the colour of your skin, your gender, whatever, I think it's really important that we stand with this movement at the moment. I've heard a lot of people who, you know, have seen, I don't know, a Facebook post or something on Instagram or something about Black Lives Matter, and they will immediately go and say all lives matter. And I think people just don't realise that until Black Lives Matter, then all lives don't matter, and that's how we're at the moment. You know, people are not saying that it's only black lives that matter, but at the moment black lives are the ones that are under threat, and that's the ones that we need to focus on. So I would just really urge you to do what you can to support this movement, to support your black friends, to learn, to educate yourself, to challenge like any unconscious bias that you might have. And I think that it's going to be something that we do, you know, every day to make sure that we are continuing to do this. Like I said, I'm very aware that I don't want this to be about me, and that's why for the most part I will be trying to amplify black people's voices. Obviously I will speak out, I will quite happily, you know, support people who need it. I will quite happily tell people that, you know, I support the Black Lives Matter movement and that I'm against racism, but I also think it's important that we give space for the people who are actually experiencing this awful situation to actually have their voices heard. So if you follow me on Instagram, you may have seen that I have been sharing various resources and posts and things like that on my stories. I've been very conscious about trying to make sure that I go back to the original source and share it from there, because I think it's really important that, you know, the person that actually, you know, made that post and talked about their story is getting the credit for it, and I think it's really important that we do that. I have a highlight on my Instagram story highlights for any Black Lives Matter content and things like that that I've shared, so if you want to go over and have a look at it, I've tried to share as much as I can, anything that has kind of, you know, touched me or that I have found helpful to read. I've tried to share it on there, so please do go over and have a look, share those as well, talk to other like friends and family about what you've read. I always naively assumed that because I don't feel that I'm racist that was enough. You know, I've always kind of thought, you know, I would treat everybody equally, I would not prejudge somebody, and I always thought that was enough, but I've learnt so much in the last couple of weeks about the fact that we have to be anti-racist, and that means challenging your unconscious bias, you know, that you may not even realise that you have, but that your brain may have kind of formulated without you even realising it. Talking to family and friends, challenging, you know, if someone close to you says something that is actually, you know, not right, that you're making sure you challenge that, making sure you're reading diverse books with your children or diverse books as an adult, making sure that you are sharing content from, you know, a wide range of different voices, all sorts of different things that we can be doing as an active ally to people that need our help at the moment. So yeah, I'm not gonna, you know, go into it a huge amount, because as I said, I think it's much better for us to, you know, say what that they have our support, but to then allow them the space to tell their truth. So I just wanted to include this section because I think it was really important that people know exactly where I stand, and to make it very clear that I stand with the black community in their fight for equality. There's a saying that's going around that I feel like just puts it perfectly, and it is, I understand that I will never understand, but I stand. And I think that is, yeah, completely right, because I know I will never understand what it's like to be discriminated against based on the colour of my skin, but I will always stand with those who do know that truth and to help them fight for justice. So on a completely different note, and it feels quite difficult to follow such a huge topic with something that feels quite trivial, but I did say that, you know, this was a catch up and I'd be talking about a range of things. So yeah, the next thing that I wanted to talk about was my operation recovery. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you'll know that back in November I had major surgery to my leg. I had a femoral osteotomy, where my thigh bone was broken, rotated so that it was in alignment properly, and then a metal rod and pins have been put in to hold it together. So yeah, that was back in November, so we're like 7 months, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, yeah, 7 months on now, and things haven't quite gone to plan. They often don't with me, but there we go. Yeah, by now I should pretty much be off crutches. I would have thought I should have a full range of movement back, and yeah, I don't. I've always had problems since my surgery with my knee, not being able to bend it, and it being very swollen and swelling up when I do any kind of exercise, and it being very painful, and that just hasn't got any better. So quite a few weeks ago now, I managed to get back in touch with my surgeon, and I had a phone appointment with him because of the coronavirus. I couldn't go up to London to see him. I had a phone appointment with him and kind of told him what had been happening, and he managed to get me to get some x-rays done at my local hospital to see if there was kind of any reason why my knee would be so bad. The x-rays came back a couple of weeks ago, I think, or last week, and basically where the actual break is it's healing, but it's not healing as quickly, I think, as they had hoped. The doctor that I spoke to said that it should have pretty much healed by now in somebody my age, but it hasn't, so we're not sure if it's just slow healing, so that's got to be kept an eye on. I've got some bone that's kind of growing where it shouldn't be, but he doesn't think that's too much of a problem at the moment. And there's a possible break further down my thigh bone as well, which we're not sure. He said it might have been caused by a pin that was put in during the surgery, but again, we need to keep an eye on that. But what the x-rays didn't show is anything that would be causing problems with my knee. So I spoke to the doctor again, and he thinks that it's the most likely cause is because they have aligned like my thigh bone. The lower leg is now out of alignment, which they said could happen and could cause problems. And I mean, you can tell it's out of alignment. My knee points inwards and my foot points outwards, and it looks kind of weird. But because of that, they think that my knee is just not sitting right, and that, yeah, my body just doesn't like it, which is why it keeps swelling up. So they want to now get me in for a CT scan, which can then check the alignments properly. However, because of the coronavirus, it's still not safe for me to go up to London, which is where I would need to have the CT scan. And also, you know, the hospitals aren't doing like a full range of stuff yet. So they've made me an appointment for a couple of months' time, or they are making me an appointment for a couple of months' time, in the hope that things may have settled down coronavirus-wise by then, so that I will then be able to get up to London to have the CT scan and then to be seen in clinic on the same day to decide what to do next. The likelihood is, I think, that I will need another operation to sort out the alignment lower down. They did say this right at the beginning, that that might be a possibility, and it's looking, yeah, more and more likely, which is frustrating, but I did know that that was a possibility. It's definitely been hard. You know, I'm worse now than I was before the operation at the moment, and that is definitely difficult to get my head around. Being in extra pain, having less, you know, mobility and everything is hard work. Because of the virus, all my like physio has been stopped. I haven't obviously been able to get up to London to be seen in person for like to see my surgeon. So yeah, it's not quite the major operation recovery that I had hoped for, but we've got a plan, and yeah, that's all we can do at the moment, unfortunately. So yeah, it's been a frustrating 7 months and a really, really difficult 7 months, and unfortunately it's not over yet. But yeah, that's where we are with leg stuff at the moment. The next thing that I wanted to talk about was lockdown, the coronavirus, mental health, all that kind of stuff. As I said, I think we are 12 weeks into lockdown now, I have pretty much been shielding. I didn't get a letter from the government because I didn't fit the criteria, but because of my asthma and all the other medical conditions that I have, I still fit the clinically vulnerable criteria, and so felt that shielding was the best thing to do for me. And I thought I was coping quite well, but in the last couple of weeks I have realised that actually I'm not sure I'm coping as well as I thought I was. My mental health has definitely suffered, and that has become a lot more noticeable over the last couple of weeks. Not going out for so long has made it very difficult to go out. So for example, like needing to go for a walk, like if I wanted to go for a walk, or I had to go when I had to go to like have my x-rays, I've been feeling really anxious, very, very panicky, and yeah, I suppose I hadn't realised that kind of stuff because I hadn't really gone out. And also having, like, seeing other people, I have found really, really difficult. So like if we've had to have someone come into the house, I don't know, to like mend the washing machine, or when my like occupational therapist had to come, I found myself getting more and more panicky about having somebody else in the house. And I think a lot of like the pandemic and everything, and a lot of the stuff that's been on the TV has also triggered memories and feelings from when I've been in hospital, especially after my operation when things went pretty wrong. And that's kind of really impacted on my mental health as well. So all in all, my mental health isn't great at the moment. Definitely having a pretty big blip, and I'm just really hoping that sometime soon I might be able to get in to see my own GP and to talk to her about it and see if there's anything that I can kind of access for a bit of help. I think I need somebody to talk to about what happened after my surgery, because that is still affecting me a lot. I'm still getting kind of panic attacks about it, and bad dreams, and a lot of things like pictures on the on the TV and stuff will often like trigger that kind of thing off. So yeah, I think I kind of thought I was doing okay, but actually maybe I was just, you know, pushing it to the back of my mind so that I didn't have to deal with it all. Staying inside itself hasn't been like a huge challenge, I suppose, compared to some people. I'm quite used to being inside a lot through like chronic health problems, and so I'm not necessarily used to going out much. It has been difficult because obviously that choice has been completely taken away. So if I've been having a good day, then it's been more like I haven't been able to go out. So it has been difficult, but I haven't found myself getting bored or running out of things to do or anything like that. So in that respect, I think it hasn't been like too bad. One of the hardest things has been not seeing family. Obviously I live with my parents and my sisters, which I'm very lucky for, but you know, not being able to see you know, brothers and sister-in-laws and my niece and nephew, apart from, you know, on the computer, has obviously been really difficult, as it is for everybody. And also just not being able to access medical appointments has been really tricky. Most of my medical appointments have been cancelled, and it's hard not knowing when they might happen, trying to kind of deal with chronic illness and symptoms and feeling pretty awful a lot of the time without any medical support has definitely been difficult, and I know a lot of my friends have been finding the same. And I've also found it quite hard just seeing the way that disabled and chronically ill people have been treated or are being looked at by the government and by kind of processes that have had to be put in place. It has been quite traumatic. Hearing doctors say, you know, that you may not get treated if you meet a certain frailty criteria, which I met, telling chronically ill people to make sure that they think about whether they want a DNR, which is a do not resuscitate. The way people who are shielding and clinically vulnerable have been pretty much forgotten by the government, and we felt like a second thought. It's just the whole situation has had quite a big impact, I think, on my mental health as well. And I know a lot of other chronic illness friends and disabled friends have found the same. You know, having that treatment in your face for the whole time and feeling like a second-class citizen is going to have an impact, and it certainly has on me. So yeah, I guess the roundup for this bit of the video is that I am struggling a bit at the moment, if I'm quite honest, and yeah, I guess I just wanted to talk about it because I have tried to kind of hold it in for quite a long time over this pandemic, because I felt, you know, like other people have got it worse and that there's more important things going on in the world. But I just wanted to talk about it and to make other people aware that it is okay. If you're struggling and you need to speak about it, then please do. Don't put it off because you think, you know, there's other things going on that are more important, because your mental health is just as important. So yeah, I would say do what I say and not what I do, because, you know, burying it down for weeks and weeks upon weeks has just done me no favours in the long run. So please, if you are struggling with your mental health, talk to somebody. I'll put some links in the description bar below if you want to go to like a helpline or something like that, or, you know, talk to the people around you, contact your doctor, or drop me a message. I obviously can't, you know, help in a professional way, but if you want to just chat, my inbox is always open to chat. So yeah, please don't suffer in silence, because I know how difficult that is, and yeah, your needs are really important as well. And then the final bit of this video is more of a sort of admin-y type bit. So basically, you probably have realised that when I upload my weekly vlogs at the moment, I am quite a long way behind. So, I mean, it's June today and I think I'm still working on March. And that is a combination of, I'd got a bit behind before my operation, and then when I had my operation, I got a lot further behind. And it's just starting to frustrate me, to be quite honest, because, you know, I feel like uploading that far back kind of loses its relevance a bit. You know, people still watch them, and I'm really appreciative that people still want to watch them, but I would rather they were a little bit more up to date. So I have had a think and decided that for the next few weeks, I'm not exactly sure how long, but until I feel a little bit more like caught up, I'm not going to upload sit down videos like this one. I'm just going to be uploading weekly vlogs. So the hope is that I might get 2 weekly vlogs a week uploaded for the next few weeks, and that might help me just catch up a little bit. That's the plan. There may be a week when I do a sit down video if there's something, you know, something particular that comes up that I feel I want to make a video about. But generally, I think I'm just going to be focusing on getting some weekly vlogs up for now, until I'm at a kind of a more up-to-date I don't know, I can't think what the word is, until I'm more up to date, and then I will go back to doing 1 sit down video and 1 weekly vlog a week. I hope that's okay. I know weekly vlogs aren't for everybody. I know that they tend to be a bit longer, but I just I just want to get them up and to get back to being a little bit more current. So that's the plan. As I said, I hope you're okay with that. I hope you will still enjoy the weekly vlogs, and that I can kind of get to a point of, yeah, being a little bit more up to date, and yeah, can then start doing my sit down videos again on that kind of basis. If there are any sit down videos that you'd like to see me do, please do let me know in the comments bar below, or send me a message on Instagram or an email. Because it's always really helpful to know, you know, what kind of stuff you guys will like to watch. I can make, you know, videos that I think people might like to see or that I enjoy making, but it's also really helpful to know what you would like to see as well. So please do let me know anytime if there's something that kind of pops up that you think, oh, that would make a good video, or I'd like to know a bit more about that, then please do let me know. But yeah, for the next few weeks, it is just going to be mainly weekly vlogs. So hopefully that's all right, and I hope you will enjoy them. And that is everything that I kind of wanted to catch up with you today in this video. I hope you have enjoyed it and found it informative and interesting. If you have enjoyed it and you'd like to see more videos from me, please give me a like and subscribe to my channel. Also hit the notification bell. That means you'll get notified every time I upload a video, so you don't miss anything. Leave me a comment, let me know what you have been up to, how you're feeling. If you've got any comments on anything that I've said, please do let me know, and I will try and get back to comments as soon as I can. I'm trying to make more, well, not make more of an effort, because I do try and make an effort, but I'm trying to reply back to comments more quickly, but do know that they are appreciated. Also, if you want to come and follow me on social media, my links are in the description below, but I'll put my Instagram and my Twitter up here because those are the two that I tend to be on the most. So yeah, come over and say hello. I try to update my Instagram stories pretty regularly, so if you want sort of more up-to-date stuff, you can kind of watch those. And as I said, I have got a highlight of lots of Black Lives Matter resources as well, so it would be really, really great if you could come and have a little look at that and have a read, and yeah, just try to educate yourself and others a little bit more in the process. And yeah, I will see you in another video very soon. Take care. Bye.